A transit strike that caused chaos in São Paulo, Brazil, just days ahead of the World Cup, has been suspended. But don't rest easy yet. Transit workers may yet walk out again, and it could paralyze the start of soccer's biggest tournament. We'll have a live report from São Paulo, that and more right here, right now on the News Hub. Good morning and welcome. I'm Simon Constable. And with more on the pending chaos at the World Cup, WSJ Brazil Bureau Chief Marla Dickerson joins us now from São Paulo. Marla, welcome to the News Hub.
Thanks for having me.
This sounds like a complete mess.
Well, it's been difficult. We've had a series of transit strikes roiling big cities in Brazil, including São Paulo. Last month, it was a 2-day bus strike, which threw the city into chaos. And now the latest has been this 5-day transit strike on the subway. More than 4 million people a day take the subway here, so you can imagine the chaos we've had.
Now, it's been the strike has been suspended, but it's not over and could be reinstated to coincide with the World Cup kickoff.
Yeah, this has been really a bizarre set of circumstances, lots and twists and turns. So let me catch you up. This is a strike that started out as a battle over wages. Inflation right now in Brazil is running about 6.5%. There's been a lot of anger about the $11.5 billion that the government has spent on cup-related projects. So, you know, some workers want their piece of the pie. That's how these strikes got started. The subway workers wanted a 35% increase. Obviously, that's just a starting point. But as the strike wore on, it became less about wages and more about some workers that were fired by the government, which employs them, for vandalism and alleged vandalism and misconduct. So the government stood firm. They're offering 8.7%. The union gradually reduced its wage demands and now is willing completely to accept the 8.7%, but they want their 42 fired colleagues back on the payroll. So that's what this is all about right now.
Right now, there's going to be thousands and thousands of people pouring into Brazil for the World Cup. And Brazil is known as a great place to watch football. What's the mood like on the ground there? Are people expecting just complete chaos? Are they expecting it to be a good time? What are you hearing?
Well, it all depends on who you talk to. Look, Brazil's had some trouble completing stadiums. There's been a lot of controversy over the big price tag of this cup. There have been a lot of protests. You all have seen the news and watched the footage there. I think there have been predictions that there will be chaos and strikes. And look, it's a developing country. Not everything is going to work perfectly. Some of the airports are going to be jammed up. There are going to be long taxi lines, et cetera. But there's a feeling here, and especially if Brazil goes deep in the tournament, that once the actual football starts, that things will calm down and everybody will get in front of the TV and have some barbecue and we'll have a party. But as this transit strike has shown, the unexpected happens all the time in Brazil. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I do love that. The unexpected happens all the time in Brazil. To what extent are security forces going to make sure that things run in the right way? I know there's been talk about heavy-handedness from security forces.
Yeah, well, you know, Brazil is putting on its game face when it comes to security. I mean, we've had a lot of this unrest and street protests started last year, so they've had a lot of time to prepare. They're dispatching like 157,000 military personnel across the country. So those of you arriving for the Cup, you're going to see them in airports, you're going to see them in hotels, you're going to see them in the streets, and probably now you're going to see them in subways. So there is going to be a heavy military presence. Will they be heavy-handed? You know, what's been interesting about this transit strike is there have been clashes with police, tear gas, et cetera, and now firings of workers. These are sort of aggressive tactics by the government that were unexpected, I think, by the union, who has been a bit shocked and back on their heels. Thus the suspension of the strike. They're regrouping now to figure out what they'll do. So to circle back, heavy military presence, there's going to be a lot of police out there. Can they keep the peace? I hope so, and we'll see.
And maybe some football as well, or soccer, as some people like to call it. Thank you very much, Marla Dickerson. We appreciate your time today.